Namaste, Hari Om, everybody. So let us start.
Namaste, sir.
Namaskar, namaste. Namaste, Himanshi, Ritu, and Bhavna. So I'm starting the session.
Sir, you're on mute.
Nandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum Samast Jan Kalyane Niritam Karunamayam Namani Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Om Sahna Vavatu Sahna Bhunaktu Sahvidam Karvavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahe Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So last week we came up to the end of verse 13, towards the end of, not end of. So you are reading this last paragraph, which was very important. So today we will go on to verse 14. So the verse 14 says that matra sparshastu kentaya shitoshna sukha dukkhada agmapayano anitya sthan sthitiksha bharta, not bharta. So what it means is, it says the contacts of senses with objects, O son of Kunti, which cause heat and cold, pressure and pain, have a beginning and an end. They are impermanent. Endure them bravely, O descendant of Bharata. This is very important and significant verse that we must not only understand, but we must establish this fact in our mind. And if you are successfully able to do it, then it will significantly alter your experiences. So if you guys can afford to keep your cameras on, so it will help me. Otherwise, I find it difficult to talk to a screen. So it says, according to the accepted theory of perception in Vedanta, an object is perceived not by the sense organs, but through them. Okay? I'll read it again. According to the accepted theory of perception in Vedanta, an object is perceived not by sense organs, but through them. And I think we have discussed this fact so many times. I'm going to repeat it again. That sense organs, despite being extremely sensitive and sophisticated in their function, but they have no capacity to determine what is that they are capturing. Right? For example, When you smell something, so your nose has this functionality in it that it will capture that smell. Of that smell is bad smell or good smell, and what that smell is of, nose has no capability to determine it. In the same way, your eyes only captures shape, size, and color. It does not know what that shape, size, and color belong to. What is it? So accordingly, all the other sense organs have the capacity to capture specific or corresponding objects pertaining to their faculty. Like your skin is capable of experiences touch and feel. So whether it is cold, hot, comfortable, uncomfortable touch, so that skin is capable of doing it. But beyond these basic aspects of the sense object, they have no capability to determine what is that they are contacting. ये बात समझ में आ गई? So if you see the functions of the sense organs, eyes only sees. I cannot perceive anything. Perception is, the definition of perception is when the mind attends to the stimulus brought in by the sense organs, and mind then determines what the stimuli is all about. That conclusion by the mind is called perception. The functions of the sense organs are not perceptions. They are simply functions like seeing, smelling, touching, tasting, hearing. So ears can only hear a sound. It does not know when the sound goes in. Ear cannot decide what the sound is like and what is the sound of. It only brings that sound, sight, taste, smell, and the sensation. So these are the kind of stimulus your sense organs can bring. So they cannot perceive anything by themselves. Perception is a activity performed by the mind, and having dealt with the stimuli, when it arrives at a conclusion, that conclusion is called perception. आपको ये बात समझ में आ रही है? ये डिस्टिंक्शन को अच्छी तरह से समझ लेना बड़ा जरूरी है, क्योंकि इस परसेप्शन इस डिस्टिंक्शन को आप समझ लोगे, then you will start to evaluate your everyday experiences from this perspective. तो अब जैसे हमको छोटी छोटी बातों से परेशानियां होती हैं, छोटी छोटी बातों से दिक्कतें होती हैं, तो when you start using this analytical viewpoint, then you will start to evaluate your experiences from the light of this analysis, and it will make a huge difference in your day-to-day experiences. तो हम लोगों को क्या लगता है, हम लोगों की जो आदत पड़ चुकी है, वो ये आदत पड़ चुकी है कि वॉट एवर माई आईज ब्रिंग, आई बिलीव इन इट. और उसका आर्ग्यूमेंट हम लोग ये देखते हैं कि व्हाट आर यू टॉकिंग अबाउट, मैंने उसको अपनी आंख से देखा है. मैंने अपनी आंख से देखा, तो भैया अपनी आंख से ही देखोगे, किसी और की आंख से कैसे देख लोगे? ये क्या आर्गुमेंट है कि मैंने अपनी आंख से देखा है? सभी अपनी आंख से देखते हैं, लेकिन जो दिख रहा है वो ही है जो आप समझ रहे हो, ये फर्क है ना। आई बात समझ में? भाई, जो मेरे को आंखें दिखा रही हैं और मैं जो समझ रहा हूं, क्या वो ही सत्य है? दैट इज द $1 million क्वेश्चन. आंसर इज नो. The reality of what is being perceived and what is being what is being perceived and what is perceived, किसको देखा जा रहा है और क्या समझा जा रहा है, इसके बीच में दुनिया, पूरे समुद्र जैसा बड़ा डिफरेंस होता है. मैं क्या देख रहा हूं और क्या समझ रहा हूं, और जो मैं समझ रहा हूं उसको ही सत्य मान रहा हूं. दैट इज कॉल्ड इग्नोरेंस. ये व्हाट आई एम सेइंग टू यू इज ए वेरी प्रोफाउंड थॉट प्रोसेस, वेरी प्रोफाउंड. क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली when you come to that point in your sadhana or in your practice, that is the this distinctive ability will be required to apprehend your reality. What you think you are is a perception that your mind has created, and you and I tend to believe in that perception to be the reality. I was on. So we give so many names to multiple dimensions of my personality, and a collective opinion and view of all those names and nouns and pronouns gives me the sense of my identity, that I am a woman or I am a man, I am a son, I am a daughter, I am a wife, I am a husband, I am a mother, I am a teacher, I am a neighbor, and all these things. And I believe that is my reality. So that's where the confusion is. Gita is trying to help us point our attention to that reality, and nudging you to wake up to your own real sense, your real nature. So instead, because we are not able to apprehend my real nature with my sense organs, I have no choice but to believe in what my sense organs and my mind is telling me. So I start believing in it. So we are not doing it deliberately. This is not a deliberate act to believe myself to be what I believe myself to be. It's not deliberate. It happens that way. And because it happens that way, and I'm not at all aware of my personality, or there is any other personality apart from the one that I believe in, so that starts to cause problem in my life. So the whole idea of Gita study or any spiritual study is to work on this distinction and develop that ability within ourselves, so that I can discriminate between my perception and my reality. So अभी से हमको ये आदत डेवलप करनी पड़ेगी अपने डे टू डे एक्सपीरियंस को इवैल्यूएट करते हुए, so that I can see and sift through that what I see is not what I see, and what I understand. There is a difference between these two things. आपको मेरी बात समझ में आ रही है? मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि आपको समझ में आ रहा है, लेकिन मेरे को नहीं पता चल रहा है कि आपको समझ में भी आ रहा है. जी हिमांशी, बोलिए बोलिए.
जो सन है या मून है, मुझे जैसा दिख रहा है वो वैसा ही आपको दिख रहा है, बाकी सबको दिख रहा है, तो वो तो एक रियलिटी हुआ ना, कि वो सन है और वो
नहीं नहीं,
मून है।
हाँ, आपने बड़ा अच्छा सवाल किया, तो मैं उसको थोड़ा सा लेट मी ड्वेल ऑन इट। देखिए, इफ यू आर एबल टू सी सन एज इट इज, राइट, then it's fine. But the sun for you becomes pain in the backside in the month of April, May, June, and July. For me, sun is a pleasant experience where I live. We don't see the damn sun. So when I see sun, for me it's a pleasant experience. For you, tolerating that scorching heat, it's a painful experience. So your perception about the sun where you are is a different opinion than the opinion I hold sitting where I sit. So the reality is sun is sun. Sun is neither pleasurable nor it is painful. It is what it is. So your understanding about the sun that it is a painful experience and something that you do not want to deal with and want to stay in while sun is out. For me, it's a pleasure experience and I want to go out when sun is out. So I would like to court with the sun while you want to avoid sun. While sun remains sun, sun is neither painful nor pleasurable. So my perception is what we are talking about. The perception is not the reality of the sun. Your perception about the sun is that it's a painful experience, something that gives you pain. That is your understanding about the sun. My understanding is sun is pleasurable entity. It gives pleasure. So sun neither or gives neither of these two things. Sun has nothing to do with your pain and my pleasure. It is sun. आपको ये डिफरेंस समझ में आया? So I am not talking about कि जो चीज मुझको आंखों से दिख रही है वो है कि नहीं। रियलिटी का मतलब होता है, व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट दिस वर्ड रियलिटी, इट्स अ वेरी डिफरेंट एंटिटी और डिफरेंट कॉन्सेप्ट टू द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस वर्ड इन अवर ऑब्जेक्टिव साइंस। ऑब्जेक्टिव साइंस में रियलिटी उस चीज को कहते हैं विच हैज एन एग्जिस्टेंस, फिजिकल फॉर्म, something that exists. That's what we refer to reality. Something I can see with my eyes and something I can experience with my sense organs. That thing is real in objective world, objective science. When the same word is used in spiritual science or subjective science, that word makes reference to an entity which remains same, unmodified, unchanged, unaltered, undivided in all three periods of time. That is called reality in spiritual language. So when I say reality, I am talking about this definition, not the definition from the objective world or objective science. ठीक है ना? तो ये डिस्टिंक्शन आप गांठ बांध लीजिए और फ्रॉम टाइम टू टाइम कीप चेकिंग इट की विच रेफरेंस आई एम मेकिंग। तो अभी आप ये समझ लीजिए कि ये जो सीइंग समथिंग, for understanding something and believing that to be reality is ignorance. Believing that my perception is the reality of the thing is ignorance. क्योंकि that is not the reality of the thing. This is your understanding of the thing. है? आपको बात समझ में आई? कोई चीज है, वो चीज है ना, वो अच्छी है ना बुरी, अपने आप में वो अच्छी बुरी नहीं है। आप उसको अच्छा मान रहे हो, दूसरा व्यक्ति उसको बुरा मान रहा है। तो अच्छा मानना और बुरा मानना परसेप्शन हो गया। सो परसेप्शन कैन नेवर बी रियलिटी। तो ये मैं डिस्टिंक्शन आपको स्टैब्लिश करने का प्रयास कर रहा हूं। ये डिस्टिंक्शन को आप अभ्यास करना शुरू कर दो अपने डे टू डे एक्सपीरियंस के साथ। अपने मन में करना, आपको कुछ करना नहीं है, बस जस्ट ट्राइंग टू सिफ्ट थ्रू थिंग्स। ओके, दिस पर्सन इज शाउटिंग एट मी, दिस पर्सन इज एंग्री, दैट्स इट। You can see this person is angry and he's shouting abuses at me. He's saying all sorts of nonsensical things. Okay, that's what it is. The moment you start assigning meaning to what this person is saying, you are creating a perception. And that perception will become the cause of your experience, not that person. The person who is hurling abuses is not causing any experience in you. It is your interpretation of what this person is saying is the cause of your experience. ये चीज हमको समझनी चाहिए अच्छे से। ये बड़ी सिंपल सी बात है, लेकिन थोड़ी सी सटल है, क्योंकि हम लोगों को इतने सालों की आदत पड़ी है कि द सोर्स ऑफ स्टिमुलस वी बिलीव इज द कॉज ऑफ माई एक्सपीरियंस। जिस चीज को देख के मुझको क्रोध पैदा हो रहा है, मुझको लगता है मुझे क्रोध इसकी वजह से आ रहा है, तो वी ब्लेम दैट थिंग और द सोर्स of the stimuli for causing an experience in me, whether it is a pleasant experience or unpleasant experience. That external factor, whether it is a thing or a person or a place or a situation, none of these things have any power whatsoever to cause anything in me. है ही नहीं, पावर ही नहीं है। ये तो मैं मान लेता हूं कि मुझको गुस्सा इसकी वजह से आ रहा है, इसकी बातों की वजह से, इसके व्यवहार की वजह से, इसके कामों की वजह से और लैक ऑफ एक्शन की वजह, जो भी वॉट एवर कॉजेज यू थिंक इज कॉजिंग यू, इज नॉट दैट एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर, whether it is a thing, person, place or situation, anything external to you has no potency or capability to inflict an experience in you. ये बात गांठ बांधने वाली है, और इसी के ऊपर आपको मेडिटेट करना है। मेडिटेट मतलब क्या होता है कि whether while you are in this situation, whether you're reacted or not, irrespective of it, if you're reacted, fine, doesn't matter, or if you're not reacted, even better, doesn't matter. So don't get phased by it. Whatever the experience has been, you should find some time every day for yourself, sit in quiet environment with yourself and reflect on the transaction, कि वो व्यक्ति ने क्या कहा, आपने उसको क्या समझा, और फिर आपके ऊपर क्या रिएक्शन हुआ उस बात का, एंड देन यू ट्राई टू एनालाइज इट। जब आप एनालाइज करोगे तो आप ये पाओगे कि वो व्यक्ति ने जो कहा उसका मैंने ये अर्थ निकाला, और उस अर्थ निकालने के कारण मुझको क्रोध आया। सिंपल सी बात है, कोई उसमें रॉकेट साइंस तो है ही नहीं। और व्हेन यू स्टार्ट डूइंग इट slowly, gradually, you will find that you are gradually reducing the potency of the external factors to cause an effect in you. उन्हीं चीजों से जिनसे बहुत क्रोध आता था, वो क्रोध आना कम हो जाएगा, उसकी फ्रीक्वेंसी और उसकी इंटेंसिटी दोनों ही कम होना शुरू हो जाएंगी। और ये अभ्यास करते 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 यू विल बिकम almost like a silent witness of the external happenings. Things are happening in front of you, but they are not causing an impact on you. ये प्रोसेस है, ये इवेंट नहीं होता है। अगर आप लगातार डेली बेसिस पे इसका अभ्यास करो कि जस्ट स्पेंड half an hour, 45 minutes or an hour, whatever time you can afford, and reflect at least one of your significant experience in the day, analyze it from the light of this discussion that we have today, and say, okay, this object is object. It is neither good nor bad. Because I found this object to be so tempting, I had these desires in me to have it. भाई जैसे आप शॉपिंग पे जाते हो तो शॉपिंग में there are lot of things are hanging on the showcases, isn't it? And when you look at them, you start getting that temptation. हाँ ये कितना अच्छा ना, ले लेते हैं. This is a desire. So, or whether you have bought it or not, that is immaterial from the point of view of this exercise. All you have to do is that this object that I have spent money to buy, why? Because I think it is excellent. There is nothing excellent about it. Excellent is my mental evaluation of this thing. So, like that, if you do this kind of a daily introspection of your own experiences, that will give you lot of insight. क्योंकि ये जो डिस्क्रिमिनेटिव एबिलिटी आप डेवलप करोगे अपने अंदर, यही डिस्क्रिमिनेटिव एबिलिटी आगे चल के आपको मदद करने वाली है. वाई? बिकॉज हमको अल्टीमेटली अपना वास्तविक जो हमारी पर्सनैलिटी है उसको रियलाइज करना है. आई वाज दैट इज द पर्पस. हम अपने वास्तविक स्वरूप को तभी पहचान पाएंगे जब हमारे मन में ये डिस्टिंक्शन पैदा हो जाएगी और हमारे अंदर ये एबिलिटी आ जाएगी कि आई कैन सिफ्ट थ्रू बिटवीन व्हाट इज रियल एंड व्हाट इज नॉट. और वो एबिलिटी इसी प्रकार के अभ्यासों से आपके अंदर आएगी. ठीक है, आगे बढ़े. चलिए बढ़ते हैं. So the description or the commentary on this verse says, according to the accepted theory of perception in Vedanta, an object is perceived not by the sense organs but through them. Okay, so eyes bring sight, nose brings smell, ears bring sound, tongue brings in taste, and the skin brings in touch. So through them. So this information comes in through them, and mind is decide. So the indriyas are instrument through which the perceiving ego gathers the knowledge of the various objects. What is the perceiving ego in me? My mind. My mind, which believes that I am the doer. So that mind will decide. So if perceiver is not actually contacting the objects through the sense organs, the object as such cannot bring any perception to him. ये बात समझ में आई? ये जो लाइन है इसका क्या मतलब है? If the perceiver is not actually contacting the object through the sense organs, इसका मतलब बड़ा सिंपल है. अगर आप किसी चीज को देख रहे हो और उस पर ध्यान भी दे रहे हो, not only that you see from your eyes, but your mind is also working on it. एक जो सुनिए, अब ये सोचिए, देखिए आपको मैं आपको हो सकता है इस एग्जाम्पल समझ में आए. एक बहरा व्यक्ति है, पर्सन हु कांट हियर. ओके, अब आप उसके सामने बैठ के चेहरे के ऊपर स्माइल रख के गालियां दो उसको, हाउ वुड दैट पर्सन रिएक्ट? ही वुडंट रिएक्ट. उसको तो क्या मतलब आप क्या बात कर रहे हो? बिकॉज ही इज नॉट एबल टू कनेक्ट विद द स्टिमुलाई. सो स्टिमुलाई इज नॉट कमिंग इन. So because the stimuli is not coming in, he has no effect on him. ठीक है ना? अब कोई ब्लाइंड व्यक्ति है जो देख नहीं सकता, उसके लिए सुबह और शाम में क्या फर्क है? कोई फर्क नहीं. आपके लिए, मेरे लिए. व्हाई? बिकॉज आई कैन सी इट. सी का मतलब होता है व्हेन आई पुट माई माइंड टू समथिंग, that's where the problem is. If you don't put your mind to what your eyes are bringing in, you would have no effect on you. You would have no perception. तो ये भी जो हम बात कर रहे हैं ना, तो ये आप देखना, when you don't put your mind to something, you would be not affected at all. So this इस सेंटेंस का ये मतलब है, if the perceiver is not actually contacting the object through the sense organs, the object as such cannot bring any perception to him. Perception मतलब कि अगर आप किसी चीज के ऊपर अपना ध्यान लेके नहीं जाओगे तो आप उसका अर्थ क्या निकालोगे? और ऐसा नहीं है कि, और ये जो चीज हो रही है ये लगातार सुबह से लेकर शाम तक होती रहती है। कुछ चीजों पे आपका माइंड चले जाता है तो उसके मायने निकाल लेते हो आप, जिस पे नहीं जाता उसके मायने नहीं निकल पाते। तो जिनके मायने नहीं निकल पाते वो आपके ऊपर कोई फर्क नहीं डालती चीजें, और जो चीजों पे आपका मन चले जाता है वहां से आपको फर्क पड़ने लगता है। होता है कि नहीं होता? थिंक अबाउट इट। होता है। So all we have to do is just become conscious and mindful of my own experiences from the morning to evening. That in itself is sadhana, practice. Just be mindful. Be mindful of your experiences. Watch it like you are watching a movie. When you're watching a movie, you're sitting apart from what is happening on the screen. You don't become involved into the movie. So likewise, if you watch your own thoughts and your experiences as though you are a silent witness to what is happening, that is the way you analyze your experiences and understand and gain direct experience, direct knowledge from your own experiences, not from what Anupam Srivastava is telling you. Learn from your own experiences. तो आप ये देखो, जब आपको ये बात आपके मन में बैठ जाएगी कि जब मैं किसी चीज के ऊपर ध्यान नहीं देती तो मुझको फर्क नहीं पड़ता, तो ये आपके अंदर वो ऊर्जा उत्पन्न होगी कि वाई डू आई पे अटेंशन टू थिंग्स अननेसेसरीली। डोंट पे अटेंशन टू। अटेंशन मतलब ये ना तो यू इग्नोर थिंग्स, नो। अटेंशन का मतलब होता है कि डोंट unnecessarily provide meaning to things where that meaning does not exist. उसने मेरी बेइज्जती कर दी, he does not think I am capable. Why did he talk to me like this? He does not talk to anybody. There is something wrong with me. ये होता है, this is how we define meanings to our day to day experiences. अगर कोई व्यक्ति कुछ कह रहा है, कहने तो, what difference does it make? That is his emotional response to the situation. Why you have to define what this behavior of this person meant for you? It should not mean anything. That person is disturbed and he's just talking through his face. Why you have to be bothered? ये अभ्यास आपको तभी हो पाएगा when you are consciously trying to mindfully keep analyzing your day-to-day experiences, and then you'll become capable of a new habit of not automatically assigning meaning to what is happening in front of you. Don't assign any meaning to it. So if the perceiver is not actually contacting the objects through the sense organs, the object as such cannot bring any perception to it. That the same object can give two different types of experience to two different individuals is very well known. अब जैसे आपने सूरज वाला एग्जांपल किया ना, we talked about it. So सूरज can give two different experiences to different people. For you it is a pain, source of pain. For me it is a pain, a source of pleasure. तो अब किसकी बात मानी जाए कि भाई सूरज जो है वो प्लेजरेबल चीज है या पेनफुल चीज है? For two different people, two different perceptions. So which perception is to be correct? Which perception is the reality of the sun? Answer is none of these two are correct. They are correct as much as you're talking about your experience. You're not talking about sun. My experience of with the sun is painful. That's fine. But don't define sun with your pain. Your pain has nothing to do with sun. Sun did not give you pain. You decided that the experience that you gain being in the sun is painful. Sun has no role to play in your pain. It's not causing your pain. Your pain is caused by your own mind. Why? Because mind has decided it is painful. So when mind decides something painful, corresponding emotions and feelings will erupt in your bosom, in your system. And those emotions you will live through. So don't blame sun. Sun has nothing to do with your experience. If the object, while remaining the same, can give different experiences, it is evident that it is because of the difference in mental composition of the individual. ठीक है जी? How somebody is defining something depends on their mental condition, how they look at it. It has nothing to do with that thing that they are talking about. तो इसीलिए जैसे लोग कहते हैं ना, oh, you are going to that hotel. Oh, I'm telling you, you shouldn't. It's bloody rubbish. What is rubbish about it? They didn't give them second towel, despite they asked for 2-3 times. So hotel is bad. That is their experience. They got so angry, they had an argument and fight with the hotel staff, and they felt insulted. And as they have concluded, hotel is rubbish. Is it? So, if you believe in what they're telling you, then what would you do? Oh, thank you very much. It's good thing you told me. We are just about to go to, about to book that hotel. Now we are not going to book it. And then you end up paying 2,000 per night extra. For what? For somebody's experience. Somebody told you something is not good. Array, something is not good for you. But something is not good, that is not good for you. How could that be a universal nature of that thing? आई बात समझ में? आपको मेरी बात समझ में आ रही है? ये छोटी छोटी बड़ी सटल सी बातें, बस these are fundamental insight that we must have, because these are the fundamental causes of all the pain and the pleasure that I experience in my life, purely because of my ignorance. And ignorance is that I believe my perception to be the reality. Perception can never be the reality. That is the lesson here. Perception can never be real. Perception is my individual understanding and the idea of a thing. It's my individual. If I think sun is pleasurable, that is not a universal definition of sun. It cannot be. Sun has the nature which gives heat and light. How you find that heat and the light is up to the individual. For most wise people, light is good. For thieves and crooks who have to do nasty things, they abuse it. They say, bloody hell, sun is not going off. It's shining bright. I can't steal this stuff in day, broad daylight. For them, light is a painful activity or entity. For them, light they don't like. For you and rest of us, who have nothing to hide, light is a welcome entity. It is also observed that object of one's intense fancy during a certain stage in one's life becomes a nuisance to the same individual after a time. ये बात समझ में आई आपको? इसका बड़ा कॉमन एग्जांपल बताऊं आपको, ये जो अभी बोला इन्होंने। When you start your love story, you are in deeply in love with that person. And as soon as you commit the crime called marriage, same person becomes a pain in your backside. Same person who was a source of love, source of satisfaction, source of pride for you. The same person becomes the pain in your backside and a source of embarrassment. It's a common experience, isn't it? Everybody goes through it. So how can something who was a source of love, affection, and all your heartbeats were beating because of this person, this person changes into a pain in very short period of time? That's why it says it is also observed that object of one's intense fancy during a certain stage in life become a nuisance to the same individual after a time, for as the time passes on, the mental constitution of each individual also changes. So in short, it is very clear that the external objects can convey their stimuli and give us an experience only when our minds come in contact with the objects through the sense organs. This is to be underlined. Let me underline. When our mind come in contact with the objects through the sense organs. So when you don't put your mind to what your eyes are looking at, you will have no experience. इसीलिए हमारे जो erudite scholars, हमारे subjective scientists, the rishis of the old, they have prescribed sham and dam, two techniques for us to develop, restraining our sense organs and controlling our mind to go out through the sense organs. तो ये दो साधनाएं जो हमको डेवलप करनी चाहिए अपने अंदर, ताकि हमको किस बात का अनुभव करना है, किसका अनुभव नहीं करना, इसका निर्णय हम स्वयं लें. We should not leave this decision on my sense organs and my mind to decide for me. So if I, with sadhana, if I learn to restrain my mind and control my sense organs, then my sense organs are not going all over the world and capturing data or information and bringing that into me. So I will restrain my sense organs. And then I control my mind that it does not court with or play with the sense organs. तो ये जो अभ्यास हमको कराया जाता है, आदि शंकराचार्य ने ये अपनी षट संपत्ति के माध्यम से हमको बताया, यम एंड नियम. और महर्षि पतंजलि ने अपने अष्टांग योग के प्रिस्क्रिप्शन के माध्यम से हमको बताया कि दिस इज ए कॉम्पिटेंसी वी मस्ट एक्वायर. वर्क ऑन माई सेंस ऑर्गन्स एंड वर्क ऑन माई माइंड. Gain certain degree of control over these two entities, and as you keep on gaining the mastery over your sense organs, you will find the degree and the intensity of all your experiences, all your subsequent experiences will correspondingly reduce. This reduction in the intensity and frequency of these experiences will directly cause peace in your mind. And when you come to the level where you have gained substantial degree of control, you will find that your mind is at peace most of the time. Why? Because you're not causing that agitation in your mind. कितना सिंपल है ये? नहीं? आपको अद्भुत तो नहीं लग रहा ये? नहीं, ये वाक्य में, आई एम नॉट जोकिंग, दिस इज वाक्य में इतना ही सरल है जितना मैं आपको बता रहा हूं. हमको सिर्फ अभ्यास करना है. अभ्यास के माध्यम से इस सरल चीज को हमको आत्मसात करना है. इंटरनलाइज इट, निधिध्यास of this information, this knowledge, that any external object or person or situation or thing or experience has no capacity or capability to inflict any effect on me. भावना चली गई, क्या बात है? चलिए आगे बढ़. He who can understand that the objects of the world are in a state of flux. Flux meaning are constantly coming into existence and perishing. Anything that has come into existence must perish, must go out of experience. It means they are impermanent. They are not permanent. Anything will not allow himself to be tossed about by the existence or non-existence of the finite things in the world. और इसमें से सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज होती है, उसको बोलते हैं फिजिकल बॉडी. एट द non-existence of this body, it gives us lot of pain that we go through, and that pain and the grief that we express is the sign of my ignorance, knowing very well that all physical objects, forget about physical, all objects in the world are perishable. The fact that they have come into existence is the guarantee for them to go out of existence. The mere existence is a guarantee that it will perish. In the flood of time, things, incidents, circumstances, and environments flow up to our present from the unknown future to give us vivid experiences of varied intensity. In the flood of time, things as incidents, circumstances, and environments flow up to our present from the unknown future to give us vivid experiences of varied. But basically, it is saying is things changing all the time. They keep coming into our experience, and they keep affecting us. They, in their real nature, cannot remain permanently, but out of necessity must pass on to become one with the entire past. Nothing can remain the same even for a short period in the world of objects where change alone is the changeless law, where the change alone is the changeless law. So things in the world outside are changing entities. Changing entities cannot give us any lasting experience. Having understood this finite nature of the changeable objects of the world, wherein every one of them has a beginning and an end, on no occasion need a wise man despair the least of things that are, or of things that are not. The wise people do not grieve over things coming into existence and things going out of existence, because that is the very nature of those things. There is no thing, or I should say, there is nothing in this entire world which is not perishable. Everything that has come into existence must necessarily go out of existence. तो जो चीज जाने ही वाली है, why I'm grieving over it? वो तो उसका नियति तो तय हो गई थी, उसके अस्तित्व में आते ही उसका विनाश निश्चित था। तो जिस चीज का विनाश निश्चित था, जिस बात को मैं जानता ही हूं, तो उस जानते पूछते हुए why I'm grieving over it? That is the question that we should ask ourselves. Why am I grieving over things whose very nature is to perish? तो उसका स्वभाव है। जो फूल खिला है, it is going to shed off all the petals it has very soon, within a week's time. They flower and they go out of existence. They perish. Heat and cold, success and failure, pain and joy, none of these can be permanent. Since every situation of its own nature must keep on changing, it would be foolish of us to get upset at every change we notice. It is wisdom to suffer them meekly with comfort and consolation of the knowledge of their finite nature. कि कोई भी अगर परिस्थिति जो है दुखदाई है, ठीक है, आई है तो जाएगी, परमानेंट तो रह नहीं सकती। तो if we do not disturb my peace of mind when I'm facing a particular painful situation, then my likelihood of engaging with that situation with the knowledge and intelligently is much higher than otherwise when I have disturbed myself. If I cause a lot of agitation because of the pain inflicting nature of the situation, that my ability to deal with that situation effectively will be diminished substantially. Or whether you deal with it or not, the situation has come, it must go. Whether you do something or not, it cannot continue to stay in front of you all the time. So advises, it is wisdom to suffer. It's not saying you will not suffer. You will suffer, but do it meekly, with the comfort and consolation of the knowledge of their finite nature. भाई ठीक है, अब ये शुरू, ये स्थिति साफ हो जाएगी। जैसे पुराने जितने भी हमारे परिस्थितियां थी, वो रही थोड़ी ना, हमारे सामने आई और चली गई। We dealt with them. Some situation we suffered the pain. Other occasion we jumped with excitement. We were happy about it. Even those happy occasions, they never lasted forever. तो जब कोई परिस्थिति वर्तमान में बनी नहीं रह सकती, तो why should I be harassing myself. It is the attitude of the wise to go through life both in joy and sorrow, in success and failure, in pain and joy, with the constant awareness. Constant awareness, what I was talking to you and using these words, Sakshi Bhav. You just be the witness of what is happening. Do not allow the events that are taking place in your life on a daily basis affect you. Just watch them. Watch them meekly. That what is happening in front of me will also pass. It's not going to stay there. The external, it says the same sentence here. In success and failure, in pain and joy, with the constant awareness. What is the awareness? Even this will pass. No situation can ever remain forever. चाहे वो कितनी पेनफुल हो या कितनी आनंददायक परिस्थिति हो, वो परिस्थिति हमेशा बनी नहीं रह सकती. तो अगर ये मन में भाव आपके आ जाए तो इट गिव्स यू दैट मेंटल स्ट्रेंथ टू विदस्टैंड एनी सिचुएशन दैट यू फेस. ठीक है जी. The external world of challenges is finite as much as it has a beginning and an end. Not only that, Krishna adds, they are impermanent by their very nature. By the term impermanent used here, the Lord means that the same object which gives pleasure at one moment starts yielding at another moment pain to the experiencer. जैसे अब एग्जाम्पल हमने अभी यूज किया था, द पर्सन दैट यू लव एट वन फेज ऑफ योर लाइफ, द सेम पर्सन बिकम्स द सोर्स ऑफ पेन एंड एग्नी फॉर यू. This inconsistency is indicated by the term anitya. Anitya मतलब impermanent. So what good this will accrue? What good will accrue to him who is indifferent to that, to heat and cold and the like? Listen. So this is where I think we should stop. And I should ask you to come out in the open from the behind the cameras, and let's deal with your thoughts or your queries that you may have, having listened to me for last 1 hour. So let me take a visual break while you're thinking. तो आपको क्या समझ में आया, एक एक करके बताइए. Whatever you have understood, let me know. It would be nice for me to know what have you understood. And there's nothing right and wrong, so don't worry
Sir, I
about
would
it.
like,
हाँ प्लीज प्लीज कैरी
I'll
ऑन.
share an experience.
हाँ बोलिए.
Yes, yes, yes. सर रिसेंटली हम लोगों के अप्रेजल साइकिल चल रहे थे जैसे,
हम्म.
तो सारी टीम की मीटिंग्स हुई और ऑफ कोर्स क्योंकि ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को इतने ऑर्डर्स नहीं मिल रहे थे, तो सबको पता था कि कुछ होगा नहीं। लेकिन अप्रेजल मीटिंग में हमारे जो डिस्कशंस हो रहे हैं, तो जो बहुत ही पेटी इश्यूज है ना, तुमने ये नहीं करा, और मैं इतना कूल मतलब कंपोज बैठी रही सामने कि भैया तुम्हारे कहने से फर्क तो पड़ने ना, जो होना था वो हो रहा है। लेकिन सारी कहते हैं हमें तो ऐसे दिखा देते हैं पूरे साल की हमारी कोई वर्थ ही नहीं है और ये नहीं है। तो आई वाज टॉकिंग टू समवन, आई सेड उनके कहने से हमें कोई वैलिडेशन नहीं मिल जाएगी या मेरे टैलेंट में कमी नहीं आ जाएगी। जो मैं कर रही हूँ वो मैं कर रही हूँ, तुम्हें कम परसेंटेज देना है तुम दे दो, मैंने कहा उसके 3% देने से मेरा स्किल सेट थोड़ी कम हो जाएगा,
हम्म,
या उसके 8% देने से या 15% देने से मेरा स्किल सेट थोड़ी बढ़ जाएगा। और शी कैन नॉट डिसाइड माई कैपेबिलिटीज, मतलब इट इज मी हु नोज माई कैपेबिलिटीज। तो
yeah,
मतलब मेरा इतना, जैसे कहते हैं ना, अनअफेक्टेड सर, मतलब वो ऑब्वियसली आपसे इतना सेशंस ले लेके थोड़ा थोड़ा हम उसको इम्प्लीमेंट डेली लाइफ में तो नहीं करेंगे, बट हाँ ऐसे इंसिडेंट्स पे करते हैं। सो जया वाज आल्सो लाइक शी इज रिजॉइंड, तो उससे मेरी बात हो रही थी, शी सेड ऐसे, I think I forget it. She's no one to decide my skills and what I do, what I don't do, and what I have to do. मतलब have to do, of course, ठीक है, your goals are aligned with the organization.
हाँ,
But तुम आकर के बोलो तुमने ये लेटर नहीं भेजा, तुमने वो नहीं भेजा, so मतलब I'm just sharing that example कि
हम्म,
initially yes, few years back हम लोग affect होते, मतलब मैं affect होती थी कि अरे इसने ऐसे बोल दिया, but अभी ठीक
हाँ,
रहता है। अभी वो टीम में भी कुछ ना कुछ चल रहा है, 9:30 बजे से पहले पहुंचो, वो टाइम डिसिप्लिन की मेल डाल दी। मैं अगर 9:45 सब, मैं 9:30 to 9:45 के बीच में पहुंचती हूँ, उसमें वो कंप्लायंस करके डाल दिया, मतलब टाइम डिसिप्लिन करके डाल दिया, बिकॉज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पॉलिसी नहीं है, वो ये कहती है कि तुम कभी भी आओ और मिनिमम 7 आवर्स करने हैं। लेकिन ये लोग जबरदस्ती कहते हैं कि 9:30 तक पहुंच जाओ। तो मेरे को फर्क नहीं पड़ता, मैं 9:45, वो मेल डाल दिया, सबसे ज्यादा मेरे होते हैं, क्योंकि मैं लेट ही पहुंचती हूँ 9:30 से या 40 के बीच में। सो देन दे वर लाइक, तो मैंने कहा नहीं, मुझे नहीं फर्क पड़ता ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की पॉलिसी क्या कहती है। अगर तुम अंदर बैठ के 6 लोगों के लिए एक पॉलिसी बना लोगे तो तुम सुपरसीड नहीं कर सकते उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल पॉलिसी को। और यहाँ मेरे को ड्राइव करते हुए भी स्ट्रेस नहीं होता कि अरे 9:30 होने वाले हैं, 5 मिनट बचे हैं, 6 मिनट बचे हैं, तो मैं तेज चला लूं या मैं ये कर लूं। मैं अपना आराम से कूलली जाती हूँ कि फालतू का स्ट्रेस लेने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है। और अपने सबका अपना रूटीन हो सकता है मॉर्निंग का, सो योर लाइफ इज नॉट ड्रिवन बाय देम
हम्म।
कि तुमको 9 बजे पहुंचना है या मुझे। सो दैट्स
No,
इट
that's
सर,
very good.
थैंक यू।
Excellent. I will just say a couple of things which is excellent. This is exactly what I'm saying. कि अगर if you are consciously living or mindfully living, that this is the kind of experience you will have. Because किसी का भी अपने एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट पे कोई कंट्रोल नहीं है ना। तो अगर आप उसको माइंडफुली एनालाइज करोगे तो देन यू विल बी प्रोटेक्टिंग योर सेल्फ फ्रॉम द अपहीवल दैट यू विल अदरवाइज कॉज इन योर सेल्फ, है ना। नंबर वन। नंबर टू, गीता में इनएक्शन जो है उसको प्रोहिबिट किया है। इनएक्शन, इनएक्शन मतलब कि उसका मतलब ये नहीं कि नो आई एम नॉट बॉदर्ड, यू कैन से वॉट एवर यू से, ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला। नो, आइडिया ये होता है कि मतलब दिस इज माई, इज नॉट स्पेसिफिक बट जेनेरिक एडवाइस ये है कि जैसे मान लीजिए टाइम वाला ही फैक्टर है कि भाई उनकी एक्सपेक्टेशन है कि हमको 9:30 बजे आना चाहिए, ठीक है ना, मान लीजिए। तो नॉट टू प्रूव टू एनीबडी, but I should set my own standard that I will never be after time. I will aim to be 10 minutes before time. That is my personal standard. I'm not doing it to please anybody. I'm not doing to gain any a reward or anything, but I'm setting this standard for myself. Ki I will, leave home 10-15 minutes before time. So I will, do that because it is definitely causing a negative environment within the your team. And what you can say, oh, they are days, they are that, they always do that, blah blah. What doesn't matter. So even if it's unintentionally causing some grief within the environment, You are the recipient of this grief. So for self-preservation, I think it is a much better policy to raise and keep your standard over and above your organization standards. उसका पर्पस किसी को प्लीज करना नहीं है, उसका पर्पस ये कि आई एम टेकिंग दिस वाव विथ माई सेल्फ दैट आई विल नेवर बी लेट इवन बाई ए मिनट. नॉट दैट एनीबडी इज आस्किंग यू टू बी ऑन टाइम, बट यू आर सेटिंग योर ओन स्टैंडर्ड. इसको बोलते हैं व्रत करना, व्रत लेना. मैंने व्रत लिया है दैट आई विल नेवर बी लेट फॉर वर्क. 5-10 मिनट आगे पीछे पहुंचने में कोई बहुत बड़ा लाभ और नुकसान नहीं होता. इतना तो लोग ऑफिस पीने के आने के बाद चाय कॉफी पीने में 15-20 मिनट आधा घंटा वेस्ट कर देते. दैट इज नॉट द पॉइंट. पॉइंट ये है कि चूंकि मैंने प्रण दिया है, सो आई विल बी ऑलवेज बिफोर टाइम एंड आई एम डूइंग इट फॉर माई सेल्फ. आई एम नॉट डूइंग इट विद एनी प्रॉफिट और गेन आउट ऑफ इट. तो ये उसका एडिशन हो गया. वॉट यू आर ऑलरेडी डूइंग ग्रेट, उसको ग्रेटर बनाने के लिए यू सेट योर सेल्फ दैट एजेंडा कि मैं आई विल नेवर बी लेट. वॉट एवर इज लेट डिफाइंड एज कि अगर 9:30 उन्होंने बोला कि 9:30 एवरीबडी शुड स्टार्ट वर्क, तो 9:30 बजे काम को शुरू करने का टाइम है, ऑफिस पहुंचने का टाइम नहीं है. तो हम लोग गलत समझते हैं कि 9:30 बजे अगर ऑफिस का टाइम है तो इसका मतलब ये है कि 9:30 बजे आई शुड स्टार्ट वर्क, नॉट अराइव एट वर्क. डिफरेंस है ना. ये भी किसी ने क्वेश्चन
सर आई
पूछा था.
लॉस्ट यू. हाँ
हाँ, किसी ने भी ये कहीं क्वेश्चन पूछा था, मैं वो देख रहा था. हाँ, आई वॉज अटेंडिंग ए lecture by Jai Sai Deepak. You know who is Jai Sai Deepak? Jai Sai Deepak, you know, is a very famous Supreme Court lawyer, young fellow. He must be in his 40s. So he was here last week in Leicester. So I went to visit him. Visit him means visit his lecture. So somebody from the audience, he was talking very, very naively. He asked this question, and incidentally, Jai Sai Deepak was late for this program in arriving. He arrived late. So this guy in the audience after his lecture, he asked the question, कि सर ये हम इंडियंस के साथ क्या प्रॉब्लम है? Why are we late? So he asked this question. So anyway, so he was just basically just giving his action. My view is very simple. Whole idea of spiritual development is that we set our standards over and above expected by my environment, and I commit myself to stick to that higher standard, and I do it with no expectation of any reward or any gain out of it. I do it for the sake of doing it. ठीक है जी.
सर पर
एक्सीलेंट.
वो स्टैंडर्ड अगर ईगो में सेट किया गया हो,
हाँ, तो वो गलत है.
सर अगर वो
ईगो नहीं. हाँ, ईगो नहीं. आपको अपने
स्टैंडर्ड,
डेवलपमेंट के ऊपर काम करना है.
सर वो ईगो में ही सेट किया गया है. यस सर, मतलब
नहीं नहीं, छोड़ो.
हाँ
मैं
सर, वो
वो
मतलब
उसने क्या
दिस
सेट
इज
किया
नॉट द
है.
ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. यस
हाँ,
बट
फॉरगेट
हाँ,
अबाउट
आई गॉट
ऑर्गेनाइजेशन,
योर
फॉरगेट
पॉइंट
अबाउट
कि
दिस
इट इज
पर्सन.
अबाउट
हाँ.
सेल्फ. यस 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 यस. बट सर लेकिन वो आपकी बात ठीक है कि आप सेल्फ सेल्फ इम्प्रोवाइज करो, अपना एक डिसिप्लिन में आओ, या जो भी चीज है अपना स्टैंडर्ड खुद सेट करो उन सब चीजों को लेकर के. बट अगर उस एक्ट का इंटेंट गलत हो तो क्या हमें उस पे वर्क
नहीं
करना
नहीं,
चाहिए?
दैट वाज
माय
द
क्वेश्चन
सेकंड
इज
थिंग आई
दिस
एम सेइंग.
कि
सेकंड
अगर
थिंग
उसका
इज.
ऑब्जेक्टिव, हाँ.
हाँ, उसका दूसरी बात मैं ये कह रहा था कि जो मैंने बात की थी ना, इनएक्शन इज नॉट द रिकमेंडेशन. जस्ट बिकॉज somebody इज बीइंग अनवाइज एंड क्या बोलते हैं, व्हाट इज द वर्ड, तो आप उसको कन्फ्रंट करें. कन्फ्रंट करना ठीक है भाई, ठीक है. व्हाट इज द से कन्फ्रंट इन दिस कि भाई, सो व्हाट, हाउ मेनी पॉइंट वुड यू गिव to all the extra time that I do in the evening? Just raise that question. कि आप अगर नंबर काट रहे हो सुबह 5, 10, 15 मिनट लेट आने के, आई एग्री विद यू. If I were you, I will do the same thing. But I would be balanced in my approach and I will add extra points for working late for half an hour every day. How about that? How about working through the lunch hours, not taking my lunch break, so to speak? How about all those things? So you're not sitting and taking everything just like that. Maintaining or not maintaining or sticking with your time, that is your priority, that is your agenda. But if you see this injustice being meted out by somebody who is sitting on a position of power, you simply do not take it just because you are working under their in their team or whatever that may be. Just say your piece. How about that? तो इसलिए आप टाइम पे नहीं आएंगे क्योंकि वो आपको पॉइंट आउट कर रहे हैं कि यू आर कमिंग लेट once or twice or every day. That's not your reason. Your reason is you are setting a standard for yourself and you're doing it. अगर उस बात से उसको ये लगता है कि मेरे कहने की वजह से ये इंप्रूवमेंट आएगा, हाँ दैट्स राइट प्रीति, तो ठीक है, लेट हर टेक दैट व्यू, क्या फर्क पड़ता है भाई. उसको अगर ये लगता है कि मेरे ये पॉइंट आउट करने की वजह से नाउ यू आर ऑन टाइम, दैट्स गुड. You know that this is your own standard, that I will never be before time. Oh, sorry, never be after time. I'll be before time all the time. 20 पे, 25 पे, 15 पे, I will be in the office, settle myself, make a drink for myself, sit on my desk. 8:30 I will start the work. लेकिन इसका मतलब इनएक्शन नहीं है कि आप इनजस्टिस को टॉलरेट करें, इनजस्टिस नहीं. यू जस्ट कन्फ्रंट पीपल पोलाइटली, क्योंकि आपको उनसे कोई झगड़ा नहीं है, आपको कोई खुंदक नहीं है कि आपसे क्या. जब अगर इफ यू आर ऑपरेटिंग फ्रॉम द पोजीशन ऑफ ईगो, देन यू विल आर्ग्यू एंड फाइट. How dare you point it out to my this thing, that thing? No, you're not doing it that for that purpose. You're not even getting affected by it. You understand their position, that, whatever that may be, but you confront if something is something of injustice is being meted out, something wrongly is being assigned to you. You just confront it. Don't take it lying down. So I'm not talking about becoming inactive. We have to be active, mindful, but there are certain things that you should raise your own bar, your own standard, and you deal with it. So inaction is not the key. So you should always, take it and say it in a very polite manner. Though it is understandable what you're saying, that people should be before time or on time and should start work, but from the way you are evaluating this particular behavior negatively, what about people spending extra time and giving extra time? Because if you are going to watch time, then people will start watching time. 5 o'clock, everybody will leave office. If you're so particular about 9:30 arrival, then people will leave at 6 o'clock or whatever the time is. So I think it's a give and take. Yes, I agree that people should start work at time, but at times it happens there are a lot of factors which delay people. So they should not make. If it is a consistent practice, then you should. That you're right to say it. But so point is, you're not taking any effect of what the other person is throwing at you. And if you're doing it, that is excellent. That's what I mean. Okay, we should be reflective of our experiences on a day to day and become better and wiser and make all our external circumstances redundant, ineffective to cause any experience in me. That is the mood message, mute message out of this verse number 14. ठीक है जी. हाँ रितु जी, आप कुछ कहना चाह रही हैं? नहीं. ठीक. ओके, तो इफ
सर
यू
इसका
गाइस डोंट
फायदा भी
हैव.
होता है एक.
हाँ हाँ बोलिए.
सर एक ऑन अ लाइटर नोट, सर मतलब ऑन अ
हाँ हाँ
लाइटर नोट इसका फायदा होता है कि जब आप
जी.
एकदम कंपोज कोई मीटिंग अटेंड करके आ रहे हो 1 to 1, तो पूरी टीम जिंक्स में होती है कि बहुत अच्छा हुआ है या बहुत बेकार हुआ है. उनको समझ नहीं आ रहा था, सबको ही लग रहा था इसका तो बहुत अच्छा गया है, ये बहुत मतलब मैं ये कि उन्हें लाइटर नोट वो भी हो गया था टीम के अंदर की, लग रहा है इसका बहुत अच्छा गया है, क्योंकि सर सब लोग मीटिंग करके आते हैं ना, सब एक स्ट्रेस में और टेंशन में, और आते ही कोई चाय पीने जा रहा है, कोई किसी को फोन कर रहा है कि बाहर आ जाओ अपना डिस्कशन के लिए। और मैं तो आते, शिल्पा आपको कैसा हुआ, मैंने कहा हाँ सही रहा, अच्छा हुआ,
It went well.
ठीक है जैसा होता है। तो
Yeah.
तो सर वो सबको ऐसा हो गया कि लगता है इसका तो बहुत ही अच्छा हुआ है, वो तो बहुत ही मजेदार सबके एक्सप्रेशंस थे। बट एनी हाउ था तो सबका एक जैसा ही, बट यस, सामने वाला भी गेस नहीं कर सकता कि आपके माइंड में क्या चल रहा है।
And exactly, see, that is the difference. See, because you have no power over external factors, so you can't, change them or wait for them to change them before you feel okay. So if you build that insulation around you, then people will be amazed to watch you. यार चक्कर क्या, इसको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। तो ये फर्क है। चलिए, एनीवे, तो इट वाज ए नाइस सेशन फ्रॉम माय एक्सपीरियंस। उम्मीद है कि आपको भी अच्छा लगा होगा। ओम कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरे परमात्मने प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। चलिए जी, हैव ए नाइस वीकेंड and I will see you on 11th, Wednesday. Until that, look after yourselves and keep practicing.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Namaste,
you, sir.
sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure.